Hello and welcome to the 2025 Street Improvement Project PowerPoint presentation. This project involves the neighborhood generally described as east of Greenway Avenue, north of Hudson Boulevard, west of Hadley Avenue, and south of 6th Street. It includes 1st Street, 3rd Street, 4th, 5th, Upper 5th, 6th, Grenadier, Gresham, Greystone, Grosvenor, and Hadley Avenue. This is a map of the 2025 project area. The purpose of this presentation includes 4 items. Number 1, review the city's need for an annual program. Number 2, describe the construction elements of a project. Number 3, outline the process of a project. And number 4, present the policies of how projects are funded in the city of Oakdale. The city of Oakdale has developed an annual street improvement program that has 5 objectives. The first objective is to improve safety. There is a direct correlation between pavement condition and safety on our streets for all users, including bikers, walkers, and motorists. The second objective is to control maintenance costs. As asphalt gets older, it becomes brittle. The cost to maintain those streets increases at an increasing rate, and we are now to the point where the maintenance costs are exceeding the revenue that's collected and dedicated for that purpose. Patching is a very inefficient way to continue maintaining the streets, as it costs 5 times more per ton to patch a street than it does to pave a street. The third objective is to replace water mains that have a history of breaks. There are a number of blocks in this neighborhood where we've had a series of breaks, and it's now time to replace those water mains. The fourth objective is to improve the efficiency of our street lighting system, and we do that by installing LED light fixtures on the existing power poles. And the final objective is to eliminate service barriers. In the spring of the year, we do have to post the streets to try to protect them from heavy loads, and that could affect service delivery to your neighborhood. And so when we reconstruct the streets, we construct them to a higher standard so that there is no service interruption to your neighborhood. This is a map of the city of Oakdale showing the pavement conditions throughout the community. Good and the average streets are generally reflected in blue and green colors, and the streets that are in poor condition are in the red, orange, and yellow colors. And as you look around the community, you can see neighborhoods where we do have areas with poor pavement conditions. As mentioned earlier, the city has an annual pavement reconstruction program, and you can see over the next 5 years, we're going to be doing those neighborhoods that had the pavement in poor condition in the previous slide. And for next year, we are looking at, again, the neighborhood in the south central portion of the city. This is a chart showing how a typical city street deteriorates over time. On the left margin is the pavement condition from 0 to 100, with 100 being a street in good condition with new pavement and 0 being an older street with poor pavement conditions. On the bottom is the age of the street from 0, 10, 30, 20, 30, and 40. And on the right side is the cost per square foot to maintain a street. And what it's indicating here is as the street gets older, the maintenance costs increase, and there gets to be a point of diminishing returns, which generally happens at around 28 to 30 years. Most of the streets in next year's program have reached that age. The third objective we mentioned as part of our street reconstruction program is to replace utilities where they're in poor condition. This map reflects where we've had water main breaks in this area over the last 30 years. And you can see that there's been a number of breaks on Greystone Avenue, on the west side of Upper 5th Street, and on 5th Street and 5th Street Court. These are streets that we are indicating there's been a number of breaks to the point where it should be replaced. This map shows the load limits that we have to impose from March to May of every year to protect our streets. And the streets that are in red are the ones that have to be posted 5 tons per axle or less. And that is done to try to preserve the brittle pavement from heavy loads to try to reduce the amount of cracking and breaking that occurs. As you can see, your neighborhood now is to the point where it's restricted to 5 tons per axle. And if you look through the map, you can see that other neighborhoods in the annual program are also restricted by axle weight. That concludes the first part of our presentation regarding the city's annual program. The second part of our presentation deals with actual elements of a project. And we'll start off with a series of pictures showing previous neighborhoods where we've done replacement programs. This is a picture of Helmo Avenue looking to the north, and you can see the existing pavement conditions and the amount of patching the city has done in this area. This is the same stretch of Helmo Avenue after the project. And you can see in this particular area, we not only replaced the asphalt, but we also did some spot patching of curb and gutter, installed a sidewalk, and replaced the lighting system with a collector street LED system. Here's another example. This happens to be Holly Avenue looking to the north. And again, you can see the pavement conditions where there's a series of cracks and patching that's been done over the years. And this is Holly Avenue after the project. Again, you can see we removed and replaced the asphalt. We did curb and gutter repair, and we also replaced the street lights with the decorative lights in the neighborhood. In your particular neighborhood, you already have the decorative light posts, and what we'll be replacing is the top fixture. Currently it has a high pressure sodium light fixture that will be replaced with an LED light fixture. This is a picture of First Street at the Grenadier intersection looking east. You can see the amount of patching that has been done over the years, and you can see it's been done consecutive years just due to the different colored of the pavement patches. Also, the curb and gutter is in poor condition. This is a picture of 3rd Street looking east at the Grenadier intersection. You can see the extent of the cracking and patching of the pavement surface. Picture of 6th Street looking east, just east of Grosse Pointe Avenue. You can see the amount of patching that has been done over the years. And the last picture here of Greystone Avenue looking to the north. Again, you can see the condition of the pavement and the extent of the patching. The curb and gutter is in poor condition, and you can also see a water main patch where there was a break along the left side of the picture. The improvements we are proposing for next year's project include removing and replacing the asphalt on all the streets, removing and replacing the curb and gutter on all the streets, but not including 4th Street from Greenway to Greystone, or Upper 5th Street from Grosvenor to Hadley, as they were replaced in 1995. The utility repairs, we're looking at replacing the water main on 5th Street, 5th Street Court, Greystone Avenue, and portions of 1st Street and Upper 5th Street. We're televising the sanitary sewer to see if there's any needed spot repairs that need to be done. We're also televising the storm sewer to see if there's any needed repairs. Another portion of the project is to clean out any sediment that has accumulated in the ponding areas where the storm sewer discharges. We also mentioned previously that the street light fixtures will be replaced with LED fixtures. We're also looking at and evaluating the street signing to see which signs and street name signs need to be replaced if they've lost their reflectivity or visibility. We're also working with the private utility companies, including gas, electric, phone, and cable, to see if they need to schedule and do some repair as part of our project. The next couple of slides will talk about the actual construction process. Generally, the first thing a contractor will do is reclaim the pavement. They grind up the asphalt surface and turn it into a gravel road. Then they will start utility repairs underneath the road, including the water main, any gate valves, manholes that need to be adjusted. Once that is completed, then they will grade the road, prepping it for any curb repairs that need to be done. Once the curb and gutter is repaired or replaced, they will install the first layer of blacktop, and that's called the base course. The total pavement thickness is 3 inches, so it's put in two lifts. The first one is an inch and a half thick, and that is a base course of asphalt. After that is installed, then they will adjust the manholes and gate valves in the street, getting it ready for the final wear course. During the course of construction, the contractor is responsible for providing access and maintaining mail delivery to all abutting properties. The work hours are generally limited to 7 to 7 Monday through Friday. If there's any work on Saturday, it's 9 to 5. And there will be site representatives from the city and from the consulting firm that is managing the project on site. If you need to reach anybody, there will be contact information that will be provided to you. You can also, there'll be weekly updates that'll be mailed out, or a link to a city website giving you weekly updates. That concludes the second part of our PowerPoint presentation, and that was the construction elements. Now we'll move into the actual process related to this project. The first step is to conduct a neighborhood meeting, and this PowerPoint presentation is fulfilling that objective. That will be made available on November 8th. After that is completed, a report will be prepared and presented to the council on December 8th. That is termed a feasibility report. That'll review the schedule and cost estimate for council consideration. If the council accepts the report, they will call for the public improvement hearing and assessment hearing, which will be held on January 28th of 2025. The affected property owners will be invited to that meeting, and they will have an opportunity to testify before the council in regards to the proposed improvements and proposed assessments. If the council then orders the project, they will authorize the preparation of plans and the collection of bids, which will occur in March. A contract will be awarded in April, and the contractor will be allowed to start construction in May, and the project will take until September of 2025 to complete. Generally, the contractor will break the project into certain phases to minimize the disruption to the neighborhood and minimize the inconvenience. We do have language in our contracts that generally keep the window of construction to 28 days from when they remove the pavement to when they pave the first layer of blacktop. And that concludes the third part of our PowerPoint presentation regarding the process. Now we'll move into the fourth and final part of our PowerPoint presentation regarding policies, and that's really in regards to how the project will be financed. The estimated cost of this project is a little over $7.2 million. The city will be financing 81% of the total project, or a little more than $5.9 million. The balance of the project will be financed with special assessments to the property owners. And what that represents is the cost to remove and replace the pavement and curb and gutter in select areas on a minimum standard street based on 2005 construction dollars. That assessment rate is then applied to the minimum lot frontage of each parcel. And it's a unit amount based on the minimum lot frontage up to 80 feet based on zoning district for the residential areas of this project. The city is held to a high standard in that the assessments cannot exceed the increase in market value to the property. What are special assessments? Special assessments are defined as a loan that is recorded against the property and spread over a 10-year period. The interest rate is 2% above the rate the city pays on a bond sale, with interest accruing starting in October of 2025. The property owners can prepay without interest up until that point, October of 2025. If the property owner prefers, they can make partial prepayments. We prefer that they be in minimum $500 increments. The first installment, in the absence of any prepayments or payment of the assessment, will be collected with the property taxes starting in May of 2026. The property owners do have the ability to pay the remaining balance at any time. If this creates a financial hardship, For any property owners, there is a discrete deferral process that can be evaluated by our finance director. People typically ask, why am I being assessed for project improvements when I pay property taxes? And the answer to that is property taxes go to paying services that the city provides, such as police, fire, and maintenance of public facilities. As mentioned earlier, if the assessment creates a financial hardship, there is a deferral that can be applied for, and that's an application through the finance director. Generally, the property is required to be homestead status. There are 3 criteria. The property owner can be 65 years or older, or retired by disability, or some financial hardship. The deferrals do continue to bear interest, and the deferrals are terminated upon the sale of the property, a change in the homestead status, or if the council rescinds the hardship. That concludes the PowerPoint presentation. I want to thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself, Brian Bachmeyer, the consulting city engineer for the city of Oakdale, at my email address noted below. Have a great day.